Today we have a dog Chow High protein review. Okay, the dog Chow High protein is 25% more protein than the regular dog chow. So we've been using this dog food because basically you get a lot of it for a good price, and it seems to have as much as they can offer you for your price. It seems to me that all dog foods are pretty much the same, except for low quality dog foods that you pay, and you get a serious amount for, $20 for 50 pounds. It's a little skeptical. But this dog food right here, is about $40 for 44 pounds. So it's about right at $1 per pound. So next we'll get into the ingredients, and as I go through the ingredients, I will talk to you about them and tell you how I feel about them. First, we have ground yellow corn. Corn is high in carbs. It also has protein in it. The dogs need a lot of grains. So this gives them the energy they need as puppies and as high performing dogs, because we do a lot of work with our dogs. So the corn works well for them. Once again, none of our dogs have allergies to anything or any type of skin issues, eye issues, ear issues, or anything like that. The only thing I can say is that this food will definitely give them a boost of energy because of the amount of carbs that's in it. Next, we have chicken byproduct meal, which is the ground up pieces of chicken, chicken bone and different things like that. It's very high in protein. Chicken byproduct meal is real high in protein. Corn gluten meal. Corn gluten meal is the kernel of the corn that they use after they mill the corn. It's the leftover pieces of the corn that actually contain the most protein and the most vitamins. So this is actually a really good source of vitamins and a really good source of carbs for the dogs. We feed a lot of raw, and what we notice for 100% fat, that is true. No matter how much chicken you give a dog, if you don't give them dog food, they're going to still be hungry. They'll burn that chicken up, burn that beef up, and they're going to still want some dog food. Some people do feed their dogs only chicken, but I wouldn't recommend that because it's going to cause some issues. Heart disease, enlarged hearts for dogs that do not have grains. The first recipe of dog food was from Egyptians 5,000 years ago or 6,000 years ago. It contained dried barley soaked in milk. So you do the math. Basically, milk and grains is what dogs first ate. So trying to think dogs only eat vegetables is wrong. But everybody has their own beliefs.
You mean proteins?
Yeah.
Meat?
Corn gluten meal, meat and bone meal. Meat and bone meal is basically beef or any kind of meat that they have available and ground up bones. I like meat and bone meal because it's an ingredient that's been in dog food for years and years and years. So of course dogs have adapted to eat this. You may have a lot of stool when you feed this type of food. You may not. It may, it all depends on how the dog really adjusts to it. But this is what we're going with now. Next, we have beef fat. Beef fat is a very good fat because the chicken fat burns up quicker than the beef fat. So having beef fat actually sticks to the dog's bones a lot more and bulks them up a lot. And we have bullies. We have bully breed dogs, Rottweilers, Connie Corsos, Press Canaries. They need that fat in order to really bulk themselves up. And I was told by another big time breeder that basically beef gives you more than chicken. Preserved with mixed tocopherols. I heard that this was a good thing, tocopherols. I don't really know what it is right now off the top of my head. I'll have to look it up later on. Also, we have soybean meal. I looked up this soybean meal. Soybean meal is a good feed that they use for hogs and also different other animals like cattle. Cattle really shouldn't be eating it dried, but soybean meal is actually good for dogs because it's high in protein and easily digestible. You hear a lot of bad things about soy. Hey, for each his own. We have no allergy issues over here. We have no problems with soy over here. And in fact, I see people using dog food that does not contain any of these ingredients, grain-free, soy-free, corn-free, and their dog's skin is falling off. They have holes in the dog, the eyelids around the dog's faces. So I've seen people that don't even use this type of dog food, use the best available dog food with none of the things in it that people are saying are bad, and their dog's health is still deteriorating. Go figure. Bad genetics. Next we have eggs and chicken flavor. Eggs and chicken flavor, only God knows really what that is. I'm just going to assume that they have some eggs and they mix it with some water. I don't know what eggs and chicken flavor is. You got me on that one. And then you have lamb. The lamb could be, you know, a certain amount of lamb that they're adding to this food just so they have it in their ingredients panel for you, just to attract you to the food. That's what I'm believing. But also, if they're giving you lamb, they're going through the trouble of getting some kind of lamb, is it meat or, lambs eat grass. I don't think you can give a lamb soy or corn. So you have to give a lamb grass. So that's the natural diet for a lamb or sheep, whatever. So that means that that's probably a really healthy food. But I don't know. Then next you have natural flavors. Only God knows what that is. And then once you get the salt, I was told that dog food cannot contain more than 1% salt. So after you get the salt, it's really a joke on what else they're putting in here. But let's play games with them. They're putting potassium chloride, salt. They're putting peas in there. They're putting carrots, Shaolin, chloride, minerals, zinc, blah, 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 blah. So I didn't do this in the last video. So we'll get into the calories. The calories on this food is 424 calories per cup. I call it calories. It's really CKs. I don't know, kilojoules. I don't know what it's called. I'm not looking it up. You look it up. So if it's 424 calories per cup, that is high as hell, which means that this food definitely is a very high grain containing food. It's full of grains, which is considered sugar for a dog. So this will give a dog lots of energy and a lot of a rush. But if you really think about it, I have a lot of puppies and they're always playing around burning all the energy that they have. So eating this will help them restore their energy supplies back and keep them looking as bully as possible, because they're burning up everything they eat because they are growing fast. I'll go to the feeding chart. So for 100-pound dog, you only need 4 cups of this. 4 cups for a 100-pound dog, which means 1 bowl like that. So that's good to know. I have puppies and they'll need more than just that, but probably all we'll feed them is 1 bowl. And what that will do is, what will happen is they'll burn most of it off, but at the same time, as they get older, the calories will collect on them. So you don't need to give more than 4 cups, which is approximately 1 pound if you're weighing it out. So it's 1 pound of dog food. And that's funny that I just realized that, because if it's 44 pounds of dog food in here, that means that there's 44 meals in here. So you can divide that up by however many dogs you have. And we feed a lot of chickens, so we don't necessarily, just use this. And what I will say about the poo, what I've noticed about the poo with this food is it's very like dry and, kind of like just dry and grainy, which is good for me because I need it to stick together. And when I mix it with another food that's a little bit oily and just oily and fatty. So you take a food that's oily and fatty and mix it with this dry, grainy food, and then your poo becomes, a ball. And it's not much to clean up. But what I do notice is if you give them too much, then they won't really want to eat it. But if you give them just the right amount, And I won't give them 1 pound a day. I'll say 3 cups, you know, or 2 cups twice a day, or 3 cups and 1 cup. However I do it. But I'm rolling with this food for now until, you know, until I notify you otherwise. We out.